Oh, hello there. You've reached the Dizzy Dokuro hotline. I was just in the middle of alphabetizing my spice rack. But I suppose I can talk for a moment. Hi. My name is Dizzy. What can I do for you? Looking for anything special? Me spicy? Well, I can tell you about something really spicy if you'd like that. Oh yeah? Alright. Let's go through my spice rack starting with the A's. Allspice, anise, or some people like to call it star anise. Basil, bay leaves, black pepper, caraway, cardamom, cayenne peppers, celery seed, chili powder, chives, cilantro, cinnamon, cloves, coriander, cumin, curry powder, dillweed, fennel seed, fenugreek, garlic powder, ginger, lemon peel, and then there's mace, marjoram, mustard seed, nutmeg, onion powder, oregano, paprika. I have smoked and sweet, parsley, peppercorns, poppy seeds. You like that? Yeah? Tell me how much you like that. Yes. Let's keep going, shall we? Rosemary, saffron, sage, sesame seed, sumac, tarragon, thyme, turmeric, vanilla bean, and last but not least, white pepper. Remember, keep your spices in a cool and dark place and avoid storing them directly above the stove, as the heat and steam can degrade the oils that provide flavor. How's that for a start? You really like that? Oh, tell me what you like about it. Oh, you thought this was just a hotline? Well, what else were you calling about? Your phone is bugged. Oh. Well, let me just settle into my ergonomic desk chair and rest myself with these ergonomic rest wrists in a firm position. My chair is set to the optimal lumbar support, and we have ample time. Let me troubleshoot that for you, shall we? You say your phone is bugged? Yeah? Well, let's get started. First, let's understand why you think your phone is bugged. What are the symptoms that are ailing you, mister? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see. Sounds like you have a literal bug in your phone. That sounds like a problem. So why don't you grab that bug spray? You have some, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, get that bug spray right there. Mm-hmm. And you're just gonna aim it at that bug and spray really, really hard. And while you do that, let me get into something a lot more comfortable. You like that? You wanna know what I'm wearing? Yeah? Well, this is a beige cardigan with a mustard stain. And if you must know, it is precisely 1.5 centimeters from the third hole. Yes, I got it while organizing my canned food cabinet. I found it. Mustard, that is, behind a can of chickpeas from 2017. It's a conversation piece, I suppose. But enough about that. You guys are here for something steamier, aren't you? Yeah? You think you got connected to the wrong operator? You want to know about your washing machine being broken? Well, how about we get into something more thrilling? Like a detailed explanation of a tax audit. You like that, don't you, big boy? Tax audits. Oh yeah. Excellent. I have my notes right here. I find that it's always best to be prepared. And by the way, big boy, this isn't just any tax audit, mind you. This is the comprehensive Schedule A itemized deductions audit. Yeah, you like that, don't you? Tell me how much you like that. Yeah. Alright. First, let's understand some trigger points. The IRS doesn't just randomly pick names out of a hat. That's not theft. Taxation is not theft. It's much more. complex than that. They have algorithms, sophisticated algorithms. They look for anomalies. For instance, did you claim an unusually high amount in medical expenses relative to your justice gross income? Yeah? Or were you perhaps quadrupling your charitable contributions from the previous year without a clear, documented explanation? These are red flags, big boy. Not sexy red flags, mind you, but audit red flags. Now, once you receive that dreaded letter, it will likely be a CP2000 or a 3219A, depending on the stage of their inquiry. The clock starts ticking. Yeah, that's right. Unzip those 2025 receipts. Whip those bad boys out and let me hear it. Yeah. Oh, you've committed tax evasion? That's very, very bad. You need your help to defeat the Babylons who are in leagues with the IRS? I need a particular bug who knows their way around finances and how to defeat the chaos gods. Well, I can help you get started. So much as you have a limited window to respond. Ignoring one of these dreaded letters is like ignoring a leaky faucet. It only gets worse. And you know all about leaky faucets, don't you? Yeah, that's right. You're a real leaky boy. Alright. The letter will outline the specific areas of concern. Let's say, for the sake of our thrilling discussion, they're questioning your miscellaneous deductions subject to 2% AGI limit. This is where things get really exciting. Are you ready? I'm gonna need those receipts now. Can I hear your 2025 receipts? Yeah. Whip those bad boys out. All of them. And I don't just want these receipts. I want them itemized. If you've claimed professional uniforms, then they're gonna want to see the purchase date, the vendor, and preferably a letter from your employer stating the uniform is required and not reimbursed. Now, if you've claimed reimbursed employee expenses, prepare to justify every single mileage deduction, every professional professional development course, every subscription to a trade journal. You're gonna have to keep a very, very meticulous log. Yeah, that's right. The mileage log, in particular, should include. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. The date, the destination, the purpose of the trip, and the odometer readings at the start and end of your journey. Yeah, that's right. I can't stress this enough. You're gonna want to show those logs. And a handwritten notebook is perfectly acceptable, but it must be consistent and legible. Consistency and legibility. My grandmother, sorry to drag family into this, once used a series of sticky notes, and let me tell you, that ended in a total mess. And the auditor was completely unimpressed. Now, let's get to the good stuff. The casualty and theft deduction. A truly intricate beast. If your antique porcelain doll collection was destroyed by a rogue dog, you'll need photos, police reports if applicable, and an appraisal from before the incident. You like that word, don't you? Tell me how much you like it. That's right. Appraisal. Appraisal. The fair market value here. That calculation is critical. And it's not what you paid for it. It's what it was worth just before the calamity. And remember, you can only deduct the amount exceeding. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, tell me how ready you are. $10% of your AGI. I know it's a high bar, often unmet, and many people mistakenly believe any misfortune automatically translates into a deduction, but it rarely does without substantial loss. Now let's move on to the good stuff. Your charitable contribution. Did you donate a used sofa to a local charity? Yeah? Were you a good boy with that? Tell me if you were a good boy with your charitable contributions. No, you were a bad boy. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You know, if you were a good boy, you would get a contemporaneous written acknowledgement from the organization with a statement about whether you received any goods or services in return. And if the value of that sofa was over $500, you would have completed a Form 8283 non-cash charitable contributions. If it was over 5,000, you would have gotten a qualified appraisal. The devil, my dear caller, is all in the documentation. A hastily scribbled thank you note from the thrift store manager will simply not suffice. The IRS has no sense of humor when it comes to charitable intent versus actual compliance. Now, what about your home mortgage interest? You'd think it's straightforward, but did you refinance? Did you take out a home equity loan? Well, the deductibility limits change based on when you took out the loan and what you used the funds for. If you use the home equity loan to pay for a new swimming pool, that interest is generally deductible. However, if you're using that for the Dizzy Dokuro hotline, it is not. The distinctions are subtle, but financially significant. Many people overlook these nuances until the auditor points them out, often with a rather polite but firm expression. You like that, don't you? The firmness of the expression. Yeah? That's what I thought. Thank you for the non-deductible. I'm glad you're finally getting comfortable in here and a hang of this. Now, since we're finally warmed up, let's talk about the actual meeting. If it's escalated to that point, arrive prepared. Bring all your documentation in an organized fashion. Binders are your friends. Tabs are your confidants. Be polite but firm, and make sure you answer only the questions asked. Like, are you enjoying this call? Tell me. Good. How would you rate the service today, 1 through 10? Very nice. Now, let's continue. Do not volunteer information. Do not engage in casual conversation about your weekend plans, especially if they're with me. This is a professional engagement. The auditor is not your confidant. They are there to verify your tax liability and always consider bringing a tax professional with you. Yeah, you need a helping hand, don't you, Chad? You like that, wouldn't you? Their presence often signals to the auditor that you're taking this very seriously and are well informed. This can sometimes expedite the process. You know, I had a neighbor once try to charm her auditor. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? You wouldn't expect a sweet treat as an agent of the IRS, right? No? Good, because it resulted in a polite refusal and a request for additional bank statements. A cautionary tale. So, that's the gist of a Schedule A itemized deduction audit. How was that? Really steamy, wasn't it? The sheer meticulousness required. Remember, it's a marathon and not a sprint of financial paperwork. Yeah? Very informative. Your books are open. You're lubed in olive oil. I don't think that's necessary for paperwork. I actually would recommend keeping a wet sponge nearby to help dampen your fingers so you can flip through receipts quickly. It's a old skill that I picked up working part-time 30 odd years ago at different retail establishments. Try it out sometime. I could help you get started, but you could also just head down to the nearest dollar store and get whatever sponge you like. Well, we've exhausted the intricacies of the audit. What are you interested in doing next? We still have about half an hour on this call. Do you want to hear the optimal techniques for folding fitted sheets. Alright, but you're gonna have to listen to this because it's an art, really. You're gonna need to be real skillful for this. First, you have to find the corners. And then well, it requires a certain spatial awareness. Yeah, that's right. Spatial awareness. Or maybe you want to discuss the various pros and cons of different dishwasher detergents. I found that the gel packs, while convenient, sometimes leave a residue on my glassware that is simply unacceptable. The powders, while messier, offer a superior clean, particularly for hard water areas. Yeah, you know all about those hard water areas, don't you? Now, what else would you like to hear about? You want me to talk dirtier? Is this all about that hard water? Well then, let me tell you about my dirty gutters. They haven't been cleared since the late Bush administration. That's right, I said it. Yeah, the Bush administration. There's a specific type of damp and grayish sludge building up in the north and south corner. It's really thick and heavy and yeah, it's clogging up the downspout. I'm thinking about buying a ladder, but the safety rating of aluminum models are quite divisive. Yeah, that's nasty. So nasty. Dirty. Oh, you want to hear something really scandalous? Sometimes I don't wait for the low salt soy sauce to go on sale. That's right. I buy full sodium, the regular kind. Yeah, very naughty. And last night, I left the dryer running until the clothes were completely dry. Combing that again, even though the moisture sensors are broken. The static electricity on my wool socks were significant. That's right. I put wool socks in the dryer. You like that? You like when it's freaky, don't you? That's right. Hold on. I think we're getting close. Let me switch on over to this spreadsheet for my personal light bulb usage. Yeah? You want to bill me for electricity? Let's get really freaky. Let me just move this one cell to format. And I'm going to, that's right, center and italicize. There it is. Look at that. Cost efficiency. It's only $1.99 a minute for this, by the way. $1.99. Hit save. And we're done. All right. Well, I've got tea on the kettle. And that's chamomile. And I've been steeping it now for exactly 4 minutes. Any longer and the tannins are gonna get aggressive, so I have to go now. I hope you've had fun learning about comprehensive Schedule A itemized deduction audits and effective ways to do your dishes. Until next time, big boy.